Good morning, guys. It's Nadine, and I'm here to do a really quick tip project life video for all of you project lifers. I wanted to share some stuff that actually really helps me out. So, first things first, I love Pinterest, and they have some really great things on Pinterest. And I find quotes on Pinterest and I pin it to my great quotes board. And so I wanted to share something with you all in case you wanted to also do the same thing. So in my project life, basically my project life is a more contemporary scrapbook, so that later on my kids can look back and remember events and things that we did and things that they had, and whatnot. And so throughout my project life, what I do is I put little quotes in there because really it's not only a reflection of what we've done, but I like them to look through it and then have some learning lessons as well. So learning lessons from, you know, past events, past people, and whatnot. So I thought that I really one of the things I wanted to teach them or leave for them as a legacy was some great quotes. And so here's my Pinterest app on my iPhone. And if you can see, this is a really great quote that I loved, and it says, "It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice." All right. And so I thought, as a child growing up, and even as an adult, when they look back on this, this is really good to know. Okay. And so, with that said, what I do when I find a really great quote that I love is if you scroll down to the bottom of that quote, you're going to see a little button that says more. So what you're going to do is you want to save to camera roll. So I'm going to save it to my camera roll. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to click my photos, and I'm going to pull away really quickly so that I can pull it up for you without showing you guys all of my personal pictures. So here's the actual quote that I got from Pinterest. And the great thing about it is the actual quote. It doesn't have all of the white border from Pinterest or whatever. So then next thing I do is I go to my MacBook Pro and I download all of my pictures, and this is going to come up, and then I print it out from my iPhoto. And usually I print it out as on a 4x6 photo sheet that I get from Office Max, and then the size I choose is 3x5. And so if you see it, it fits really nicely in my 3x5 section already. But I have sometimes left it like this because it's just simpler. For me, project life needs to be simple because if it becomes too technical, I find that I don't want to do it. Or I can leave it like this with this white border, or I can trim it down, trim all the edges down, and then mat it on another, paper. And then it just goes into the 4x6 spot right there. So yeah, that is something that I find that I really like to do is add these great quotes to my project life. So that's one thing. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention was with project life, I find that it's sometimes cumbersome to go back and figure out, okay, what did we do in that week or whatever. And even though I might have a lot of ephemera and memorabilia from the weeks, I don't recall exactly what we did, and that's kind of annoying to me, especially because I have bad memory to begin with. So let me just show you an app that I use to keep track of stuff. And so this is called, hold on, let me go back so I can show you. It's called Day One, okay? And I have all my project life stuff in this thing right here. So if you click it, there's a calendar, okay? And what I do is I just, every single night before I go to bed, I kind of go back and I write out the highlights of the day so that later on I can go back and look and reference what we did for that day. And I can choose to pick and choose what I want to journal about in my project life. So for instance, on Monday, I'm going to just show you really quickly what I wrote. My son had a Little League baseball game, and they were in the semifinals. And I just kind of wrote a little quick thing about it. So that way when I look back, I can go, oh yeah, Monday was this, and here's the picture that corresponds to that, because I always take pictures. I just don't always remember exactly what was happening at that point. So that's another one of my quick tips. Another thing I wanted to mention was, there's a lot of cool apps for iPhone with pictures and, doing different things with pictures. Now, I found that with my project life, while it is filled with a lot of pictures, sometimes for some weeks I want to add more pictures without having to do like 3 pages. So, like 3 pages of stuff. I usually like to keep 1 week within a 2 page spread that's back to back, okay? Or like, a 2 page spread anyway. What I find that really helps me with that is like stuff like PicFrame or PicFrame app, the Frametastic app, or Photo Collage. And I'll show you why I like it. My favorite happens to be PicFrame because it was the first one. So, for instance, this is a thing that I'm going to put in my project life, and it's about my love for culottes from Dunkin' Donuts. So what you can do is you choose a picture, you put it in whatever kind of frame you want. Okay, you choose the frame, choose the pictures, add whatever kind of style you want to it, different backgrounds or whatever, different tones, and then save it to your iPhone. Then you can upload it again to your iPhoto and then custom print it to whatever size you need. So for instance, this one I'm going to do again a 3x5, and then I'm going to put it in a 4x6 area. And so this allows me to get more pictures than just one picture or 2 pictures per grid or per area in my project life protector sheet, because this has a myriad of different things. So literally, I mean, I needed just 2 pictures in one thing, but I could have chosen another thing where there's like 4 pictures, and add 4 other pictures here and then printed it out. And so that allows me to maximize the little space I have in project life. So those are my really quick tips of the day. Again, I will put the links down below in the description box for the apps and whatnot, and maybe even my Pinterest if you guys are interested in checking out some of my boards. And by all means, please share your boards with me as well, or your Pinterest information, and I would love to check out to see what you guys have too. So those are my project life tips for my project lifers out there. I hope it was helpful, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.